This is bad. Yerk. Now, even in games like Bring It On, very similar in some aspects, Generals, Eight Kingdoms, the combat system is so unique. Yeah, exactly. The Dragon Force combat system is there is no other game that's done that. And what was impressive, because the fact that, I mean, this was back in, you know, the mid-1990s, you know what I mean? Games like, you know, there was PlayStation 1 and the Sega Saturn, you know what I mean? Having something like, you know, 200 plus units on the battlefield in real time at the same time was just something that didn't happen. Even if it was just sprites, having 200 something sprites, you know, on one screen at the same time, you know what I mean, would require like a massive, you know, a lot more CPU intensive than it was. And the fact that they were able to make it run smoothly, and I mean even flawlessly even, was, I mean, that's honestly like, it's a well-designed game. You don't see that very often, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be able to see something like that probably today, you know what I mean? You'd be hard-pressed to find something that good. But yeah, nothing, there's nothing quite like Dragon Force. There's nothing that has that kind of, you know, it really was like, it was a real-time strategy game, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, you know, I mean, like Brigandine and Ogre Battle and all that, they had similar ideas, but all of it was turn-based, you know what I mean? Like Brigandine, you told people where you wanted them to go, and then, you know, the turn would end, and then all of the battles would happen at once. This, it was actually 100% real-time. You would tell the army to move, and then they would get out of their dam, they would get off their asses, and they would walk out of the castle and walk to the other area. It was a real-time strategy game. And that's not something you tend to see very often from Japan, and then the way it was done has never been done anywhere else. You know what I mean? And it's a shame, because I would love to see something like that again, because it is so unique and so different, you know? Which is why I was so sad to hear about that PSP version that turned out so badly because of those weird RNG elements. But, you know, maybe someone someday will be able... Like, I mean, straight up, I don't even care if somebody just makes a Dragon Force clone. Like, if somebody makes, you know, maybe not a Flash game, but if somebody makes, you know, a fan makes like a C++ game that is like a straight up just Dragon Force clone, I would be totally okay with that, because that means if they did it well, there would be another game like Dragon Force out there, and I will play the shit out of it. I mean, just like sign me up, you know, midnight launch, I'd be there for it, you know what I mean? It's such a rare and unique game, and it's such a shame that it had to be released on a platform that, you know, not a lot of people got, because Sega is stupid, you know, and they didn't really support it. Where am I going? I'm sorry? Excuse me? Oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I know. I understand. I know how to read maps. But yeah, Dragon Force is such a great game, and not that I'm trying to promote piracy here, because far from that being the case, says the person who regularly plays on private servers. But, you know, I mean, I would recommend finding the game and playing it just however you can. Support however you can support, but that game, like, it should be played. You need to play it just to kind of get a feel for it, because it's so rare and so fun. Excuse me, what? I beg your pardon. Thank you. And I'm really looking forward to that translation of Dragon Force 2 to be completed. Right now, I think it's still in a playable state, and I think they're working on the details of the storyline stuff. You know, I kind of looked at it about a month or so ago, and they're still going through the translate. Like, the storyline is basically translated. Now they're just going through and, I think they're, like, fine-tuning it. They're trying to figure out, like, they did the raw translation, and now they're going through and seeing how all of those translations fit within context, and then trying to correct that context and correcting the context and trying to alter the speech and everything, so that way, I'm guessing everything, the translation has a flow to it, you know what I mean? So it doesn't sound like there were 15 different people translating it. It feels like one complete translation, you know what I mean? Because there have been games that have been translated, I mean, like, officially translated, where you can tell certain people translated certain aspects of the story because the vernacular was different, the spelling, like, even the spelling was different. I remember seeing a game where you could tell somebody with, like, a British background, or at least, excuse me, a non-American background was translating it, because color would change from C-O-L-O-R to C-O-L-O-U-R, you know, depending upon the game, or excuse me, depending upon the, you know, depending upon the NPC you talk to, and it was very, like, disconcerting. I can't remember what game it was. It was some Japanese RPG or something, but I just remember, I remember that vividly. Okay, you're quite welcome, Shugo dude. Now, what the hell am I doing over here? What is this invasion that people are talking about? And why is it relevant to my interests? Aside from being a big-ass red marker on my map. So I'm gonna flippity-flappity right here. Thank you. And now what the hell is this thing and why is it— whoa! Things got real dark real quick. Holy farfignugan. Well, hi there. Hi! You're fucking a bastard, that's what you are. Can I loot you? I attacked you once. Can I take that? Am I allowed to take that? Did I just ninja that? I hope I didn't just ninja that. That would be unfortunate. Ruined invasion generator. So, is it over? Did I— what? I am so confused right now. Whatever, I hit a monster once, nearly got murdered, and then I got loot. Okay. Alright. Works for me! It's the best way those things happen. What the hell did I get? Lesser Betrayer's equipment box. Oh! Really? Really? I don't know if I don't know if I'm like the luckiest person on earth or if I'm gonna piss somebody off, but that is a— hang on a second. I think my chat thing just stopped working again. Testing, 1, 2, 3, go. Did you work? Yeah, it works. Never mind. Okay, it works. Yay, it works. Yay, it works. Okay. Anywho. Sapphire earrings. I mean, these are all level 40 stuff. I can't wear it. But hot damn, that's nice. I can read you. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure it was, popping up on my screen. Welcome back, Kagu. How are you? And I know these things I get repeats. I'm gonna take the helm. I never get upgrades of helmets. Yes. Can't use it till level 40, but hot damn, that's a gold helmet. So, I have no idea what that was. But I got stuff out of it, so I'm okay with it. Neato. Okay, now, back to murdering things. Hoorah! I was testing to make sure that my chat was actually working on the stream again. I had to restart the stream because I guess Twitch made everybody reset their stream keys. And I think OBS and Twitch both had to update something, so I had to update my CLR browser thingy to actually— Jesus, you're an 85 skill. I'm only at like 72, you bastards. But I needed to update something to make these whatchamadoobers, these plugins work, so that way my follower alert could work and then scare the living shit out of me, because that's half the fun in the follower alert, to be honest. Alright, my throat is beginning to get quite parched here. I'll eat one of you. Penguin powers activate! I'm going to admit, the penguin thing has grown on me. I used to think it was the dumbest looking thing ever, but it's grown on me like a fungus. What skill am I at anyway? 76. Damn it! I have another 9 skill points to go before I can start picking up Lycora. That is unfortunate. How many iron tokens do I have? Like 3? No, I have like 15. I have a whole bunch of them in my, my inventory, if I recall. I'm not going to spend any. Chances are what I'm going to likely do. What I was doing on my previous playthrough of this was, are you going to attack him? Okay, you're going to attack him. Whatever. That's fine. Plenty of fish in the sea and plenty of Bladestorm spirits to go around. What I was going to do was, I was going to save most of my coins and then use them on an alt to basically, I don't know if twinking them out is the correct term, but I was going to, you know, buy gear early, so that way I didn't really have to worry too much about upgrades and stuff like that. Wow, these things kind of hurt really bad. That's kind of scary. If you could not kill me, I'd very much appreciate that. Holy shit, those things kind of hurt. I am not okay with that. Thank you. But I think by the time I deleted my last character, I was at like... Jesus, I had like 400 platinum coins or something like that just from this girl alone. And I had something like... No, I don't need those yet. I know there's a quest to kill those. Like, I know there's a freaking quest to kill those things. I killed the Mist Spirits and then I killed the Splash Spirits. It's sad that I still remember all that. Okay, give me some mana. I'm carrying too many items. What the hell is this shit? Can I use these? Block I don't care about. HP. Sure, why not? I'm gonna be getting rid of this thing pretty soon anyhow. Excuse me? Well, screw you too, pal. Alright, that's fine. Whatever, I'll deal with it. I don't need Splash Spirits. Miss Spirit! Ahoy! Damn, these things hit hard. That's not irritating at all. I don't need you, Splash Spirit. You can go straight to hell. Please attack. Thank you. So, Kagu, how is Final Fantasy XIV treating you then? Well, Final Fantasy XIV treating you then. English is a thing that I can do. Yup. Stinking ribbit leg. Okie dokie. Okay, use that. Pop, I'm in combat, that's right. Extract that to give myself a couple of extra spaces. Yay! Cyclone Spirit, die please. The sucky thing about these 100 potions that they give you in the beginning, and I know this is like a total first world problem. I enjoyed just unlocked Paladin last night. Sweet. To be honest, I'm trying to remember. I think my character has all of the... most, if not all of the other jobs unlocked. No, that's wrong. She has all of the jobs unlocked. Mainly because the character was grandfathered in and all of the jobs were kind of unlocked from the get-go. You just had to equip the damn thing and be done with it. So I was lucky enough that I was just kind of like, boop! I can equip this, and then I really didn't have to, re-unlock any of the quests for, Realm Reborn. Well, I guess that's not strictly true, because you had to... No, I'm wrong, because you still... Even if you were at level 50 and everything, you still had to do all the basic job quests. So you had to pick what class you were supposed to be, and then you would have to unlock all of the others after doing your level 10 thing. If I remember correctly. Which one do I prefer between the two of them? To be completely truthful, I would probably prefer Final Fantasy XIV. I want to say it's a more well-rounded game. I mean, I like Aion. You know, I really enjoy the combat of Aion, but I'm actually not a huge PvP person. If you're into PvP, then Aion is clearly going to be the better game because it's designed with PvP in mind. Now, whether or not you think that PvP is good or balanced is entirely up to you, but it is designed with PvP in mind, so, you know, expect to get ganked a lot. If that's not how you want to roll, if that's not what you want to do, you know, if you're more of a PvE person, cooperative play and all that, the way I am, then definitely Final Fantasy XIV is the one you want to go with, because it's much more, what's the word I'm trying to come up with here? It's better supported by the developers, you know, because even though you have, you know, some numbnuts on the Final Fantasy XIV side of things, you know, but at the same time, from what I understand, one of the nice things about Final Fantasy XIV as opposed to 11 is they don't do things the Japanese way and then just kind of like translate and then, okay, you know, the western half of the world has this. From what I was listening to some convention, I want not E3 but something. I think it may have been the PAX. One of the PAXs, they were saying that you know, they actually, the Japanese and, you know, the western side of Squeenix, they actually work in you know, they work in tandem with one another. So they actually have English speaking, you know, French speaking, German speaking people on their roster, you know, at the Japanese headquarters, you know, discussing the storylines and saying, hey, if you're going to say this, you know, they're offering their input on how the cultures differ so they can try to, you know, write the dialogue with, you know, certain cultures in mind so that way you don't come into an issue where, you know, something is translated out of context or something just doesn't make sense to a Western audience sort of deal. And vice versa, really. And that you don't have to come up with a situation where you're just making shit up, you know, in the Western audience, because otherwise it's not going to make any damn sense. I mean, I enjoy Aion too, you know, otherwise I wouldn't be playing it, even though I played Algernon and it was terrible. But I enjoy the game, you know, I enjoy both. I would say I prefer Final Fantasy XIV, definitely. I do believe of the two, it is the better game, overall. But as I was ranting about before, I think pretty much every MMO that's out there has something worthwhile to it. You know, whether, even if it's something minor, or, you know, I've kind of lost my train of thought, sorry, I got distracted by a whole bunch of shiny things on my screen here. You know, every MMO I think has something worth it, you know, and there's nothing wrong with not being an MMO person. It is very much a niche. You know, even though it's become much more mainstream than it used to be, you know, it's still a surprisingly niche sort of genre that requires a, even now with its being, I don't know if casualized is the word I'm looking for, it's a lot easier to get into than it used to be in the heyday. What did I main on 14? I mained a black mage. Simply because, well actually, technically I aimed a... Hang on a sec. Okay, I guess it was somebody lighting a firework outside. Lost my train of thought. Oh, that's gotta be somebody lighting off fireworks. But, I actually, in an old school, or original Final Fantasy XIV, I mained a thaumaturge, which I thought was going to be a white mage, because thaumaturges, historically speaking, is supposed to be synonymous with somebody that's, like, you know, an apothecary, a healer. You know what I mean? Thaumaturges are healers. When they announced that that was the main class for the black mage, I was just kind of like, instead of the elementalist, which is the nuking class previously, I was just kind of like, oh, well, guess I'm a black mage now. Alright. I love buffing. I love being a buff bot. I never really had a chance to play Bard in Final Fantasy XI, but god, I wanted to play one of them so bad. They were stupid expensive, though. They were a very, very expensive class to play in Final Fantasy XI because you needed not just weapons, but you needed the correct kind of weapon, you know what I mean? You couldn't just get away with, you know, a regular flute or whatever. You actually had to get, like, the +1 flutes, the you know, the +2 horn and all that kind of shit. But I love being a buff bot. Like, I liked being, you know, believe it or not, one of my favorite classes in WoW actually was a shaman. You know, if I hadn't started a druid, you know, I probably would have, like, in every expansion after I was quote-unquote sort of, like, done with my main druid, kind of, like, gearing her as much as I could in 5-mans and what have you, or if I just kind of got tired of playing her, I would always jump on my shaman, who had her totems and all that kind of stuff. I like being the buffer, you know. I don't necessarily care about being the highest in DPS. I care about making other people better.
And make it snappy.
Screw you, pal.
We're behind schedule. 3 objects necessary to wake the Mao Chieftain are here in Impotasium. One of the Black Claw elite guards carries Chief Umkata's bones. Umkata's earrings are hidden somewhere to the north of Impotasium. And a wind spirit swallowed Umkata's weapon.
That's a big-ass wind spirit. Cool. No idea what you're talking about, but sure, I'll do it.
Aion has led you here.
And there comes Splash Spirits. Ooh, effing raw.
The advantage is ours.
Do I not have that quest still in my... Okay, still not evening yet. Cavalorn's advice. Chasing the legend. Ow. Oh, whoops. Screwed that one up. Okay. Well, may as well get that then. Final Fantasy 14, I made a bard. I loved archers. I never got the chance to play Final Fantasy 11, but I want so badly just to play Blue Mage. From what I never, to be completely truthful, I actually quit Final Fantasy 11 before Treasures of Ottergan came out, which is the expansion that had the Blue Mage in it. And it looked fucking awesome. From what I understand, my friend that I actually met in Final Fantasy XI, who continued to play after I quit, he actually played and did a Blue Mage and mained a Blue Mage for like the last year and a half that he played. Because like me, he was very much kind of like the soloist mindset, and that class was probably one of the best, you know, soloist type of mindsets you could get, because you could go out, get monster spells, and those monster spells were, well, at least some of those monster spells were like super OP. You know, they didn't really design the world with those spells being used against each other. Yes, Final Fantasy XI is still live, and I mean, it's not going to be the same experience, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be the same experience it was back in its heyday of like 2005, 2006, because they have added a lot of convenience features to make it easier. Like, you can actually solo in that game now. You can solo level to 99, whereas I can promise you back in 2005 and 2006, you could not do that if you were not a Beastmaster, from what I understand, a Blue Mage, or you were something sub-ninja. Like, or usually like a Black Mage Ninja. It just wasn't, you were not going to do it. It was just, the monsters would just kick your ass, and the experience gain was so ridiculously low that even if you tried soloing easy praise back then, you know, assuming you survived, you know, you were getting like 15 to 32 experience and you needed like 12,000 to reach the next level. I mean, it was soul crushing after a while. If you tried to solo, it just wasn't possible, it wasn't feasible. Oh man, my throat's starting to hurt. I'm talking too much. Ha ha ha! Damn it, Pekku, cut it out. Nobody knows attracted to buy it. Yeah, Final Fantasy XI is suffering from a lot of the same problems that, you know, WoW is, only it's significantly more exacerbated because Final Fantasy XI is an old game. And I don't just mean old age-wise, I mean it's an outdated game. It was created, you know, before WoW was live by like 3 or 4 years. So it's still going on the old methodology of, you know, even with all the added convenience features they have of, you know, being able to teleport to town and having trusts and having EXP buffs and all that kind of stuff, it still has the old school...
What brings you to these parts?
Excuse me. It still has that old school style of, you know, you're grinding. Like, there is no question. You are grinding to get your levels. So, I mean, it's a very different experience from the modern MMOs that you see. You know, and if it's not, you know what I mean, if games like EverQuest weren't your cup of tea, then this is not going to be your cup of tea. That is very much a game where you absolutely, I mean, I would highly recommend you play it with friends, or if you don't have friends, you know, get on to some chat or forum or something and say, hey, I'm new, can I, like, you know, can I play with a link shell? Because otherwise that game by itself can get really very, very daunting very, very quickly. Hi, Orntenek, how are you? Awesome meat boy. I'm doing thumbs up. You can't see it, but I'm doing it. Alright, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to actually take about 45 seconds, grab a drink of water.